Happy Monday, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Verified AMA. I'm your host, Lawton, here with Verified Investing, and I go live every single day that the markets are open, and sometimes when they're not, to answer your questions. I go live every day from 12:30 to 1:15. How's everybody doing today? Hope you all had a great weekend so far. At this point in time, I'd like to take a moment and ask you to stop. I see the questions coming in. Stop. And go check if you're subscribed to the verifiedinvesting.com YouTube channel. Go ahead and check that. If you do like this type of content, please consider giving us a like and a subscription. It really helps us out. And share this with your friends. It really helps us know you're enjoying this type of content. You want to see more of this content. But anyways, how's it going, everybody? Again, my name is Lawton Ho. It's a Monday, right? Forgive me. And I literally just hopped off another live. As always, you can visit the verifiedinvesting.com homepage, expand that watch and ask, and submit your questions. You can also scan this QR code down below to submit your question. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Got a new car this weekend, and I went ATVing yesterday, and I'm really sore from that. My brother just moved in with me from overseas, and I took him. He had like 2 gas station meals yesterday, and went ATVing. He's like, "Wow, this is so American." I had to give him a proper welcome into the country. Elvis says, "Hi, Lon." What's up, Elvis? How's it going? What are your thoughts on the SDS ETF? Let's hop into the charts, huh? I don't want to show these charts, though. Let me make myself bigger. Nice. SDS. I like it for a long, however, excuse me. Yeah, I mean, this is a short ETF on the S&P, right? Favoring a move higher, of course, because the S&P is so overextended to the upside. But here is something so important to learn, and this is a teachable moment. We're starting it off nice and early. Okay, so when you're trading anything, any leveraged ETF, right, it'll go up or down in relation to that main ETF, right? Main ETF is S&P. Let's go check out the S&P. S&P is down 0.4. This is a 2-time leverage, so it's up 0.1, 0.10, right? So it's a 2 times ETF. So for every 1% the S&P drops, the SDS goes up 2%, right? However, 2% on the SDS is not always going to equate to the same place it is on the S&P. That's what leads to slippage, which just means that the SDS diminishes in value over time. That being said, I do still like these levels on SDS for a long. Still like these levels. Mike says, "Hi, Lon." What's up, Mike? How's it going? At what level would you buy crude oil? Sorry, excuse me for the yawning. To be honest, right, and I say this all the time, guys, I don't really trade commodities too much. I can certainly chart this for you. This beautiful down-sloping trend line that we've tried multiple times to break above. Broke above, never confirmed. Confirmed, broke back below. For me, I would buy maybe around $60.73 on crude oil with this nice gap fill. I mean, it seems like pretty decent, right, of a level. Pretty decent on a level of a level. Mark says, hi, Lon, how's your weekend? A lot happened to Bitcoin. Yeah, again, I got a new car, and my brother moved in, and then I went ATVing, and I feel like my back is broken. It's just so sore. A lot happened to Bitcoin, certainly. Bitcoin pushed up, made new all-time highs, and started to fall. Broke this nice upsloping trend line. I gotta give you guys some more energy. I don't like the energy I'm bringing today, but you have this nice upsloping trend line that is breaking today, right? And we have this downsloping trend line. It was attempting to break above, broke above, and then fell back. This is a classic bull trap, right? Pushes up, makes new all-time highs. All the buyers start buying in. See the headlines? Bitcoin made all-time highs. It's time to buy. Bitcoin made new all-time highs. You should buy it. It's going up. It's going up forever. It just made all new time highs. Did you hear? 6% pullback. But, and this is super, super, super. I'm going to remove all these charts because it's giving me an aneurysm. But this is super significant. Look at this. Boom. Topping tail. Topping tail. Bitcoin favors a move lower, 100%. As long as this can hold. Wes says, what's up, Wes? Thank you again so much for all of your YouTube comments, Wes. Really appreciate it. For BCPC, Belgium, is there two inverse head and shoulders forming? Chart is attached. I marked the larger one in orange, the small one in purple. The purple one, I'm questioning if it is because the left shoulder is small. Right shoulder is big. I see it. Sorry, guys. I just keep yawning. Okay, let's see. Wow, okay, doesn't matter, still valid. That's an incredible inverse head and shoulders pattern. Wes is talking about this one, right? Like this one, it basically goes to here, right? Somewhere here. Doesn't matter. And this is so important to note, right? And I just literally messed up the drawing. Okay. Even though this shoulder is bigger than this head, it's fine. It's still valid. Additionally, for this, I see the purple one. Additionally, as long as this head right here, this head is taller than both shoulders, you're good. The most important thing, I showed you guys a demonstration before. Do I have to bring it back? Okay, I'll bring it back. And I chose good timing for that as well. So, head and shoulders pattern, inverse head and shoulders pattern. You see me, let me fix my posture. My posture is okay. I'm like tilted to the side. Maybe the camera's sideways. Doesn't matter. But you see my shoulders are normal. No matter what, no matter how I maneuver my shoulder is never going to be above my head, right? Partially because I have a big head, but also because my shoulder isn't going to go higher, right? No matter how hard I try, even if I tilt it a little, right, my shoulder is not going to go above my head, right? It's just not happening. In the same way, when you're analyzing a head and shoulders pattern, the shoulders cannot be higher than the head at any point, or else it is invalidated. It's not a head and shoulders pattern. It's a Siamese twin pattern, which is not a pattern. It's not a pattern. However, Wes, if you're talking about your smaller purple one, that is not valid because your shoulder is bigger than the head, Wes's other head and shoulders pattern was something like this. Like something like this. It's not valid because the shoulder is bigger than the head. But I hope you guys enjoyed that demonstration and understood it. Shoulders cannot be higher than the head, no matter how I try, how hard I try. It's not happening. Wes also says, can you look at my chart for ADM? Was there head and shoulders on the daily? Or is it not because the head isn't tall enough? Also did price scan notes. Let me see your chart. Wondering if I missed the first retrace or not. That's a head and shoulders pattern. That's a bearish pattern, but it was negated because price went above the head. Raven T, can you confirm for me that the two descending trend lines still haven't confirmed breakout? It did confirm the breakout. That's actually pretty bullish. AVNTs. All right, I'll show you guys. What time frame is this on? Oh, I was on the daily. I was on the weekly, sorry. That's why. Yeah, this is bullish, super bullish. Up move, sideways consolidation favors him of higher. Sorry guys, I was on the weekly for that whole thing. I have no idea what I'm doing now. But anyways, guys, if you enjoy this, I'd just like to take this time to consider subscribing to us on YouTube. If you want to ask the questions to me, you can scan this QR code down below. Go to the verifiedinvesting.com homepage. Well, this is bullish because it's a bear flag. Classic up move, bear flag. Nathan says, happy Monday. Happy Monday. Where's Ethereum support? Good question. It was on my chart. 42.26. That was my level of support. And it bounced off that level perfectly today. And I didn't just draw that. I drew it earlier. Makes me look like a genius. But yeah, that was my level of support. It did bounce of it. Now eliminating that next level of support, I'd be looking around here, around the $4,000 psychological even number. I anticipate a bounce around $4,000. Okay. Chat says, hi, Lon. How was your weekend? It was good. Went ATVing, injured myself, but it's fine. I got some cool videos and I got a new car, and I'm so scared to drive this car around because I don't want anyone to ding it or crash into it or anything. Stresses me out. A bit gloomy in London today. Yeah, that's what I've been to London quite a few times. I really do enjoy London, but it's I feel like overcast is just like the standard weather outside in London. Could you give your opinion on First Group in the UK? Absolutely. On the London Stock Exchange, could it be bull flagging? If so, what would your upside targets be? It is down from its highs back in 2007. Right, about 66% down from that level. Let's go back to the daily before I freak out. You could argue that it's bull flagging, but I would say no, just because of the amount of time it's spent here. For me, this consolidation isn't as bullish because it's like upsloping, downsloping, upsloping, downsloping. It just seems very choppy. Let me find a level of resistance for you. Ooh, love this level. Absolutely love this level. Back from 2012. Boom, right there. Another level here. Boom. 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 These are my levels of resistance on FGP, and you see how I got this beautiful gap fill. That's my favorite level. It hit up there and then pulled back like 9% from that level. So you see how powerful that level is. FGP first group has been struggling, has not been able to. I just slammed my knee onto the bottom of this desk. Ow. FGP is struggling to close above this. What you want to see, if first group can close above this key level around 235, 236, I think you could see another move up to at least the 260 region, 258, 260 region. Daniel says, hi, Lawton. What's up? Hi, Daniel. What is the broker you guys use to place day trades? We have a couple ones we use around the office, but I'd be happy to share. I personally use one called Think or Swim. Think or Swim. Gareth and Ben use ones called Interactive Brokers, or IBKR for short. Drew also uses Thinkorswim. Okay, but as always, guys, it's important to do your own research. A lot of these brokerages, the best thing about these brokerages is that you can sign up for them without putting any money in. And you could practice on a simulated account. And there you could just see how you would have performed using a simulated account. Gives you real fills. If you had X amount of money, let's say I have $100,000 I want to throw into a trading account for day trading, but I'm a little timid. I've never day traded before, so I don't want to just hop in like that. Well, you can always practice using that simulated account. Put your simulated money at $100,000 and see how you would have performed. Chad says, please, can you give your opinion on AES? Sure. I think it looks to be bull flagging. If you agree with your upside average 112.97, okay, that's a decent average. I don't know if I'd say it's bull flagging, right? Any up move and sideways consult. Okay, let me explain something to you. This is going to be actually a quintessential question. So what is a bull flag? You see a bull flag when it goes up and you see sideways consolidation, particularly if it's downsloping. You have this nice pattern. Yep. Let me see. Anyways, this upsloping trend line, bull flag favors a move higher. But yeah, this bull flag is sorry, I was just getting some messages that distracted. This is a bull flag. When it's the only thing you don't want to see is a move in sideways consolidation to the upside. This is actually bearish because it favors a break down lower. Okay, so that was that quintessential question. In this case, I don't think that I don't think it falls into either category. What I do see is this beautiful upsloping trend line that favors a pullback. See what other levels we have. Any other levels for you, Chad? And my fingers are not working properly now. Could be forming kind of like a pseudo wedge pattern. But let's see, right? You could certainly be seeing a bull flag. Let's say if AES goes like this, this is certainly a bull flag. But as of now, not yet, right? Not yet. Chad says, thanks for your answers, Lon. Yep. Please, could you give a pin on JD? Chinese, yep. JD. I'm currently long with $32. Okay. Average wondering when or where to add. If you did, would you have any upside targets? Absolutely. So yeah, it's come down a decent bit for me. It's a swing trade, right? And I don't like to add so close. Like when you get into a swing trade, what are you looking for? right? If your target is 1%, you probably shouldn't be swing trading that. Doesn't make sense. You want to take like at least 10% pretty much when you're swing trading. And right here, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. Up here, 35.74. You need to move around 12% higher. Okay, that would be my upside target. For me, my add to this position would be, it's kind of close. I don't really love that. Let's go here. I like this gap fill a little more. You can use your own discretion. I'll give you some levels that I expect to bounce on JD. 28.55, 26.93, and 29.77. I said those out of order. My upside target would eventually be here around $35.69. Feel free to screenshot this or just pause the YouTube live or watch it again later. But these are my levels on JD. And again, guys, thank you so much for watching me. Again, my name is Lawton Ho. I go live every single day. The markets are open from 12:30 to 1:15. So we've got around 23 minutes left. So if you have more questions, feel free to scan that QR code or go to the Verified Investing homepage. Click expand that watch and ask and throw your questions in. Charles says, I would like to have your thoughts on the PALL chart. Thank you. Okay, these are my levels on PALL. Palladium broke this upsloping trend line, favored a move lower. But yeah, these are my levels on PALL. As follows. This is where I anticipate support: 101.26, again at 97.70, 94.33, 92.31, 90.72, and 88.74. You see that the reason I think it fell is because it broke this upsloping trend line beautifully and is slowly coming down right. Let's see here. V says, hi, Lon. I always enjoy your show. I always enjoy your questions. What do you think of NVO and UNH? UNH, I love UNH. I'm currently long UNH. I've been long UNH. I'm targeting an exit around $326, somewhere around here. Somewhere up here. As far as NVO is concerned, Novo Nordisk. This is a company that I also think could be pretty decent. It does have plans to launch a new oral weight loss drug. May be approved later this year. But for me, I think that take a look at this. It's down 63% from its highs. It's a company that makes Ozempic and Wegovy. I think this thing super favors a move to the upside. Would be targeting around this $69 range for an exit on this. Lynn says, hi, Lon. What's up, Lynn? Can you have a look of AI? Absolutely. Let's take a look at AI. What are the levels and the trend for C3 AI? Yeah, I had these levels supported. Absolutely fell on. Yeah, it had really, really poor earnings. That's why it's come down. But it does appear to be bull flagging. Talking about bull flagging earlier, this is what it looks like. Up move, sideways consolidation, or to downside. You just don't want to see upsloping. My target for this would be around $22, back to that gap fill. If we can continue higher, this is where my upside target ultimately is on AI. Let's say it comes down. I would consider rebuying maybe down here around 16.16 for long on C3AI. Jeffrey says, were you measuring your head relation to shoulder using a vertical line or form a trend shoulder head line? Yeah, when I measure, I'll show you a measured move. And this is perfect. This is a head and shoulders pattern. It's not the prettiest one, but it's valid nonetheless. Right, this is still a valid head and shoulders pattern. We take it like this, the trend line like this. This is the neckline, right, essentially. We take it from armpit to armpit. That's how you draw the trend line, armpit to armpit. This is the head, and to take that measured move, you measure a move from the head, the top of the head, to the neckline, and then you get your measured move up around 26%. Donovan says, hey, Lawton. Hey, Donovan. Thanks, as always. You're welcome, as always. Any thoughts on entries and exit for IQ for swing trade? IQ, I just exited a swing trade on IQ today. Just exited, went higher. I'm not interested. Maybe if it retraces back to this $22.13 levels, I might be interested. But this thing absolutely rocket ripped. I'm out of this trade. All right, guys, we have about 18 minutes left. So make sure to throw your questions in so you can have them answered. I always answer these questions in the order in which they were submitted. And I just stared at these two lights above me, and now I am blind. Michelle says, how do you feel about IWM, the small caps? Yep. Are you staying up because I expect the S&P to fall. Here's what I have. Look at this beautiful wedge. I would be a buyer if it retraced down to this trend line, approximately 4% lower. Listen, IWM has so much more room to go. If the S&P is at all-time highs, there's not really a reason why the IWM doesn't favor a move higher. Just push. But I would be a buyer on a retrace to this down sloping trend line. It would be the third hit, so it favors a bounce. I'd stop up on a confirmation below. Mar says, Lawton, important question. Absolutely. About divergence. The price has a body and a wick. The RSI not. Do you take the body or the wick by diversion? Diversion? I usually use the wick. I use the wicks. I don't use the bodies that much. I only use the bodies for gap fills, pretty much. Mar says, is there a measured move by a bull flag, bear flag? How do you measure it? You can use a flagpole sometimes. So, like, if it's like this, you could kind of take this as, like, the measured move. But yeah. Marcus says, Platinum still hasn't broken its bear flag. Okay. Is there a time count to where bear flag is no longer valid? No, this is still valid, 100% valid. I love this. Down move. This is a beautiful bearish signal. Super, super bearish. Yeah. You could be starting to break it now, though. I love this. Love it. Love this. Love this bear flag on Platinum. Chad says, appreciate all your answers plus teaching, mate. Appreciate all your questions and responses, mate. Does Pfizer look bullish to you? Thanks. Let's take a look at Pfizer. PFE Pfizer. Does it look bullish? I mean, dude, this stock is so beaten down. This is a stock like I'd be comfortable buying and just holding on to until Timbuktu, right? Like, this is like a great, and it pays a dividend, and it's a profitable company. Like, there's no reason not to just buy and hold this thing. I'm bullish on Pfizer in general, but for a longer term play. Brewski says, "Hey, Lauren, what's your resistance level on SOCKS?" Absolutely. I'm targeting a move up in like $10, like high nines, $10. Definitely above $9 though. Targeting a move. Yusuf says, "Hi, Lon, could you go over XRP?" Absolutely. Are you bearish or bullish or bearish? I'm bearish. Head and shoulders pattern. Look at this beautiful head and shoulders pattern. Look at this measured move on XRP. Boom. Favoring a move 41% lower. Is XRP going to fall 41%? Not necessarily, but that's the measured move. So I'm looking for at least a 15 to 20% fall on this. Should it break below and confirm, you could also re-enter on a retrace to this neckline, but I'm bearish on XRP. Wes says, whatever happened to the live day trading with USGEV? Yeah, he took some off the table. He's still in it. He's in the money, but he's trying to make like 40K from it. He's trying to make 40K from it or something ridiculous. But he's still in it. Derek says, "Good day, Bank of Ho." Good day, Derek. When we make small gains every day, climb the ladder. Yep. Any day trades today? Let me see if I can bless you with the knowledge in my cranium. What little knowledge is left. Let's see here. Celsius, man, is popping up. You can short it. I would short it. If I was shorting it, I'd short it right here. $60.45 short on Celsius. There's my day trade for you. I would look to take like a 1% gain, like maybe 65 cents. I'd stop out 30 cents out of the money. Good 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. But that's the way to do it, man. Small, consistent gains. Also, would you take the VIX on a long given where it's at historically? Absolutely, yes. Why is the VIX? You guys love talking about the VIX at the same time. All right, why is the VIX up and the VXX down? Because they're inverse. They're inverse ETFs. The VIX is up. So when the VIX goes up, the VXX comes down. I think, right? Because the VIX and the VIXI are both down, and the VIX is up. That makes sense. Kian saying Palantir has it put in a longer term top. You're asking me to be like a genie for you, in which case I would normally say I can't be a genie for you because I'm not a genie. But maybe I'll try to be a genie today. For me on this Palantir, yeah, it does look like it has put in a nice top. Fell significantly. We're talking about down 9%. You take a look at Hood. All these kind of cult following stocks having a down day today. Although Hood has had a nice recovery, it's only down about 0.5%. But yeah. Wes says, you said you were a genie on dates though, man. You do magic tricks. I do. I do some magic tricks. I have one. Okay, I'm going to show you guys something. You're not allowed to share this with anyone I ever go on a first date with again. If I ever do have to go on a first date again. Let me see this. Come on. Queen? Was it a queen? Spade. Was it a spade? Hold on. I might have deleted it. Okay, diamonds. Diamonds, spades, clubs. Okay, well, it's gone from my phone now. But I had a preset thing on my phone, like a random card, and I do a card trick where I'd be like, oh, like, what card, to pick a card, I'd shuffle it up, I'd show them the card, and that card was in my phone on a note from my phone from like 2018 or whatever. I had put it there, so every time I'd be like, all right, open my phone, check the notes. I didn't touch it since 2018. And I'd be like, oh my God, it's crazy. But it's really just sleight of hand and card shuffling. But anyways, Mar says, you're gone, buddy. Black screen. Is that true? No shot. No shot. Is it true? No, I'm still on there. I think I'm good. Okay, everyone says I'm good. All right, we're good. Sorry to waste your time on that card trick. I'll get some cards and I'll show you guys like tomorrow or sometime. I'll show you the card trick. It's pretty cool. You can try it out. Just practice your shuffling. Marcus says Nike, NKE weekly, all right, is flirting. It's very scandalous with that downward trend line. Would you take a shot on call options now or not? Which ones? Which trend line? This one? Ooh, look at that. You're right. It is flirting. It's oogling. I mean, it's still like 2.5% away for this week. I'd wait. I'd wait for a move, a break, or a retrace. You guys know I love to point that out. I'd enter on either of these. I believe the VIX and VXX are not inverse as you stated. Yeah, Malcolm, that's what I thought too. I'm not sure why that would be the case then. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why the VIX would be positive and the VXX and the VIXY are negative. It doesn't really make sense. Well, here's the thing, right? The VIX opened up higher, 4.5% higher, right? So this should have opened higher. However, hold on. Did I just solve this? No, I didn't solve it. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. It's quite strange because this fall, 3% fall in the VIX. It's a 2%. Yeah, I don't know why. I'll have to ask Gareth about this later. But yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to be live for the next 5 minutes. If you have any additional questions, I'm not sure why that is then. I can Can ask someone for you guys later. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys all had a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in and spending your Monday with me. I know Mondays are a little slower. Takes a while to get back into the swing of things. I know it is for me, and I had a long weekend, but see what we got here. Stella says, "Is Microsoft good for a swing short?" Let's take a look. Appreciate you asking questions, Stella. Yeah, I mean, it looks good. Broke this down sloping trend line. I love this short. I think it goes down at least to this gap fill 5% lower. The only thing is that like it doesn't move the most, but I think it's going to continue going lower. I do like this short. Wes says, "Can you take a look at my daily chart for ADM?" Archer Daniels, you're welcome, Stella. Thanks for asking a question. Thanks for always being here. I know you don't always ask your questions, but I appreciate when you do. So thank you so much, Stella. Wes says, "Can you check my daily chart for a head and shoulder? Was there a head and shoulders on the daily or not? Because the head isn't tall enough. Also, did the price reach?" Let's take a look at your question. Let's take a look at this chart. This is not a head and shoulders pattern. This is not a valid head and shoulders pattern, first of all, because the neckline is upsloping, right? No, it is a head and shoulders pattern. It is a valid head and shoulders. It was negated. Sorry. You're right. That was a valid head and shoulders pattern. Like my brain is just exploding. Yes. This is a valid head and shoulders, a beautiful head and shoulders pattern that favored a move down. See here, favored a move down about 8% lower. However, and what did I say, guys? I've said this plenty of times. Earnings do not care about your head and shoulders patterns, don't care about your trend lines, they don't care about anything. The only thing that matters is the performance of the company. And ADM performed well. You know, lost on revenue, but beat earnings, right? And that was enough. The guidance was enough to cause it to push higher, right? Positive news, pushed it to go higher. And as soon as price gets above this head, the top of this head, negated. Okay, it's negated. This is correct though. Sorry. But this has already been negated. If you're talking about trend line, down sloping trend line there. I don't understand where your other trend lines was from, but this trend line is from the down sloping one you have. I'm not sure where that's from, but this is a valid head and shoulders that was negated because of earnings. Hopefully that makes sense, Wes. Brisky says, "Hey, Lawton, levels for VZLA." Absolutely, VZLA. Let's check it out. Gosh, I can't believe I messed up that head and shoulders thing. That's really embarrassing. Once again, thanks again, and have an amazing day. You too, buddy. Let's see. Let's take a look at this. Had this nice wedge. It broke out of, retraced to, pushed out. If it closes here, it's a confirmed breakout. Favoring a move for me to go higher. For me, I think it pushes around 7% higher. It's my target. It's around 7% higher. Be sure to like and subscribe, guys. I really appreciate it. We appreciate it here at Verified Investing. All right, let me go back to the ADM and take a look at that for you. 2022 all-time high. Where is this strong from? Like somewhere over here. Nice. Love that trend line. All right, let's get rid of this one. Let's get rid of some of this junk. It did not retrace, no. And sometimes they don't retrace. But you see that this is now in a pattern, has an upsloping trend line. Should this break and retrace, this is where I would short it until. If you were shorting on a break of this upsloping trend line, I would target a retrace to this trend line, favor a bounce. Or off of that, or just wait till it comes down there and then go long on ADM. All right, guys. I'm tired. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Again, my name is Lawton Ho here with Verified Investing, and I do this every single day, same time, same place. If you have more questions, feel free to send them to me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @LawtonInvesting. I'd be happy to interact with you and answer any additional questions you guys have. All right. With that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your Monday. I know it's slow. I know it's tired, and it sucks getting back into the office or going back to work. But just know it's only 4 days away from the weekend. All right. Have a great day. Take it easy, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye, guys.